Hello my students of class 7 and welcome to your English class. Today I'm going to teach you a very funny and very interesting story from your supplementary text reader, that is Golu Grows a Nose. Okay, it's unlike any other story which you have read this far because it's actually like a story which tells you about how an elephant grows a nose. It's a funny story and do enjoy it for its fun elements. Try to ignore the facts that it's not true or something like that. Try to enjoy it as a beautiful story. It's a story written by Rudyard Kipling. It has been abridged for you and given in your book. So we will find out an interesting story about how an elephant grows its nose. Okay. So Golu is a baby elephant and he embarks on an adventure because of his curious nature. That is like throughout the story we will find out how Golu is so curious about everything. Okay, now let us begin the story. Golu Grows a Nose, which is chapter number 5 in your supplementary textbook. Open page number 30. Long ago, the elephant had no trunk. Trunk means the portion of the elephant's nose which is extended nose of the elephant. Okay, you already know what a trunk of an elephant is and you know that an elephant has a lot of use for its trunk. So the trunk is actually the nose of the elephant which has been elongated. So many years ago, long time ago, the elephant had no such nose. He had only a bulgy nose. He did not have a trunk as big as a boot. The nose of the elephant was as big as a boot. Okay, like a shoe, a big shoe. He could wiggle it from side to side but couldn't pick up things with it. He could wiggle it. That means he could move his nose like this and that from this side to that side, but he couldn't pick up things with it. There was a baby elephant called Golu. He too had no trunk but only a bulgy nose as small as a small boot. Okay, so like a shoe, like a big round shoe, his nose was shaped. Golu was full of questions. He asked his tall aunt, the ostrich, "Why don't you ever fly like other birds?" Then he asked his tall uncle, the giraffe, "What makes your skin so spotty?" He asked his huge uncle, the hippopotamus, "Why are your eyes always so red?" He asked his hairy uncle, the baboon, "Why do melons taste like melons?" So you see, Golu had all sorts of questions for everybody. Okay, questions which were like irritating for others because he was constantly asking them questions which they couldn't answer. Okay, that's why they were irritated with him. The ostrich, the giraffe, the hippopotamus and the baboon had no answers to Golu's questions. "Golu is a naughty baby," they said. "He asks such difficult questions." So he asked such questions which we can never answer. He is a very naughty baby. One day, Golu met the myna bird sitting in the middle of a bush and he asked her, what does the crocodile have for dinner? So you see, Golu's curiosity was like big. Okay, he had a lot of curiosity for a lot of different things and he also had an urge for learning new things, which was really nice. Anyway, those around him did not consider it to be nice and they got frankly irritated because of his constant questioning. And so, what did the myna bird do? When the myna bird was asked a very peculiar question which she shouldn't be asked, that is, what do the crocodiles have for dinner? What food do they eat for dinner? The myna bird said, "Go to the banks of the great grassy Limpopo River and find out." So you go to the banks of the Limpopo River, there you will find the answer. Golu went home. Now he took her advice very seriously and so he went home. He took 100 sugar canes, 50 dozen bananas and 25 melons. So this was like food for the baby elephant. So much food because he was going on a trip, okay, to the Limpopo River. Then he said to his family, "Goodbye, I'm going to the great grassy Limpopo River. I'll find out what the crocodile has for dinner." He had never seen a crocodile and didn't know what one looked like. He had no idea what a crocodile looked like. He met a python and asked him, "Have you ever seen a crocodile? What does he look like? What does he have for dinner?" So the python, like a big snake, you already know what a python is. It's a very big snake which gulps its victim in whole. Okay, it coils around the victim's body and slowly takes out the breath from the body of the victim. When they die, he gulps it in whole. Okay, so the python, who was hanging on the branch of a tree, uncoiled himself from the branch of a tree but said nothing. Golu politely helped him to coil back upon the tree branch again and said goodbye to him. So the python was not able to answer him. Golu moved on, eating sugar canes, bananas and melons. After a few days, he reached the very edge of the great grassy Limpopo River. On the bank of the river, he saw a log of wood. So what he saw was actually a crocodile. Okay, because he had no idea about what a crocodile looked like, he thought it was a log of wood which was just there on the bank of the river. It was really the crocodile who winked at him. Okay. Excuse me, said Golu. Have you ever seen a crocodile? The crocodile winked again and lifted half his tail out of the mud. The crocodile was there lazing around on the mud, and he half lifted his tail. Come here, little one, said the crocodile. Why do you ask such questions? Why do you ask me such questions? I want to know, Golu said. Come close, little one, for I am the crocodile. And he shed crocodile tears to show it was quite true. Crocodile tears, a very, that means well-known word, well-known expression which tells false tears. Okay, like we use it in a sentence like, don't shed crocodile tears over this matter. That means don't shed false tears. Crocodile tears means fake tears, when you are not actually crying but you show that you are crying. Okay, so he said that. Just to show to Golu that he was indeed a crocodile, he shed a few tears. Golu was afraid. Now he was afraid. Okay, because the crocodile was there just in front of him. But he sat down on the bank and said, You are the very person I was looking for. Please tell me what you have for dinner. The crocodile again said, Come here, little one, and I'll whisper the answer for you. Okay, that is, I will whisper the answer what I have for dinner. Golu put his head down. Golu was an innocent little baby elephant, right? So he didn't have any idea that crocodile was actually a carnivorous animal. So he put his head down close to the crocodile's snout. Snout means the front portion of the mouth. Okay, the nose and the mouth, this portion of the crocodile, which is actually, it contains the big jaw of the crocodile using which it eats its victim. So he brought his head quite close to the snout of the animal, and the crocodile caught him by the nose. And the moment Golu went near him, crocodile caught his nose. I think, said the crocodile, today a baby elephant will be my dinner. So today I am going to have a baby elephant as my dinner. Let me go. You are hurting me, Mr. Crocodile, screamed Golu. So Golu screamed, let me go. That is, you are hurting me by picking on my nose. The python, who had been quietly following Golu, came to the bank and said, If you do not pull as hard as you can, the crocodile will drag you into the stream and then you won't be able to escape. Okay, so the python was actually a helping friend of Golu and he had followed him for a while. Now the python advised Golu that pull as hard as you can, because if you are not able to pull yourself free from the crocodile, he will take you inside the river stream. Golu sat back on his little haunches, that means the back portion of his body. He sat on that and tried to pull as hard as possible. The crocodile slipped into the water, making it all creamy with great sweeps of its tail. That means he moved his tail from this side and that side and made the water full of mud. Okay, muddy water. Creamy means full of mud in that sense. And he also pulled and pulled. Then the python coiled himself around Golu's stomach and said, Let's pull harder. So the python helped Golu to pull even harder. The nose kept on stretching. At each pull, the nose grew longer and longer, and it hurt Golu. The nose was now 5 feet long. but it was free at last. At the last moment, Golu was able to take his nose out, but because the python and Golu was pulling the nose in one side and the crocodile was pulling it from the other side, what happened? The nose grew too long, okay, around 5 feet long. So that's a big nose, right? A very long nose. Golu sat down with his nose wrapped up in a big banana leaf and hung it in the great grassy Limpopo river to cool. It had become so hot because of those constant stretching, and he left it to cool. Golu sat there for 2 days, waiting for his nose to cool and to shrink. It grew cool, but it didn't shrink. At the end of the second day, a fly came and stung Golu on the shoulder. So a fly came on the shoulder of Golu, and using his long nose, he swapped it. Okay. Golu lifted his long nose, which is called as trunk, and with it hit the fly dead. Advantage number 1, hissed the python. So the python made a hissing sound the way they do. Okay, so it was a snake. So he made this sound, and he said that this is the first advantage you are going to have with this long nose, with this trunk. You couldn't have done it with a small nose. Using your nose itself, you are able to swat away the fly. So this is the first advantage. Try and eat a little now. So try to eat something. Golu put out his trunk and plucked a large bundle of grass. He dusted it against his forelegs and stuffed it into his mouth. So using his trunk, he was again able to help himself to some bit of food. Okay, so he used his trunk, took some grass, wiped it on his forehead and put it inside his mouth, which was not possible with a small nose. So the python again said, advantage number 2, you can take any food you want using your trunk, and you couldn't have done it with a small nose. Don't you think the sun is too hot now? So don't you think the sun is too hot now? Why don't you take some water or some mud? Golu scooped up some mud from the bank and slapped it on his head. Okay, so like this, he took some mud using his trunk and he slapped it on his head. So this was the third advantage he had. Advantage number 3, hissed the python. You couldn't have done it with a small nose. With a small nose, you could never have taken the mud from the from the bank of the river and put it on your head. It would not have been possible. It's only possible because now you have a long trunk. Thank you, Mr. Python, said Golu gratefully. With lots of gratitude, Golu thanked the python. I'll remember all this, and now I'll go back to my family. So Golu with his long trunk went back to his family, and I hope that's how the elephant started having long trunks, because it was much more useful than the small nose. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed this lesson as much as I enjoyed teaching it to you. And if you have any problems with it, you can ask me in one of the online interactive classes that we have. Thank you, students.